This is the Cyvio 4K N1814 HaLow camera kit. So 4K Ultra HD, up to 700 meter Wi-Fi reach. Well, it's not technically Wi-Fi, but it's HaLow Wi-Fi, which is under the Wi-Fi standard. Color night vision. That's probably if there's adequate light again. And then yeah, the AI detection, $0 subscription, no subscriptions at all. And then let's check it out. 900 megahertz Wi-Fi. So this falls under the sub-gigahertz category of Wi-Fi. So this is 802.11 AH, which is HaLow. They have the HDMI for the dock or the hub. EES 256 encryption. Notifications are actually fast. Solar powered, ultra long range. Cyvio actually made a video testing the range themselves. I'll also try testing the range as well. Full duplex audio. $0 monthly fee. I think this photo is like reused. Supports up to 512 gigabyte micro SD card or 16 terabyte 2.5-inch hard drive, if you can even find one that big. And then up to 700 meters. So basically, this is ideal for like farms or large area coverage without wiring power or Wi-Fi or Ethernet. So this is a really good option, and I think this is probably one of the first to actually implement HaLow into their cameras and being 4K. So yeah, that's really nice. 1 hour of sunlight equals about 7 days of battery life. It really depends on the activity in the zone. Oh, it also has PIR. So the PIR is to reduce false alarms and also improve alerts. So basically, it will actually sort of detect faster than just using the camera itself. I have to cover the sticker. Let's see. Yeah, just look there. So B221, I believe, is the camera. It's 5V 2A, and then 12V 2A is for the hub. So N1814 IP66. So pretty good. Strobe and spotlight, human and vehicle, color black and white, and then resolution, Kodak. These are standard. And now let's open it up real quick. So this is a 4-camera kit. So you're gonna get 4 cameras with this. There's also a 2-camera kit, and you can buy add-on cameras. So let's see. Check out the quick start guide. USB mouse. So it includes a lot. And then shows you how to add a hard drive. I'll show you that as well. Capacity is unlimited. That's funny. And then I believe these come pre-paired, so you don't need to pair anything. You just need to set it up and charge it before first use. There's the app. So I'm not really going to do much of the the setup process or installation this time, because I covered it in the B220 review video. I believe these use the same camera mounting system, just the camera module itself is different. So what's nice about that is that if you choose to get like the B220 system first, try it out a bit, and if you want to upgrade because like you have a bad neighbor all of a sudden or something else happens and you want to upgrade to higher quality footage, so the B220 is 3K, but you can upgrade to 4K basically since they use the same mount, which is nice. You can pair an add-on camera or re-add an existing camera. So that's if it's not paired. And then there's the NVR UI. And so yeah, I'll probably show you the NVR UI. Let's get over this. Let's try out the hub. So this is pretty tiny. There's a peel on the top. You have an HDMI. I believe they had to get like some kind of rights or branding in order to have the HDMI logo. And then LAN for Ethernet, mouse backup, reset button, storage, and then the 12-volt plug. Specific models, which I have the 4-camera model, so it comes with the 64 gig micro SD card. And as you can see, this one is SanDisk Ultra. And so that's nice. It's nice that they chose name brand, or at least pretty well-known brand. I'm not sure how that will hold up for long-term use, but it's something. So I'm not sure why they have a USB storage, unless they expect you to expand with a physical or no, a portable hard drive. Then here in the bottom here, there's this there's the plate covering the bottom. Also, these feet, they do come off easily. So if you do buy this kit, make sure all your feet are there. It's just nice to have, and I think it does dampen the hard drive's vibrations a little bit. So you just push on either side, and then it comes off. There's a magnet on the bottom. Oh, there's a scan to add. And then you just need a little sticker, or a screwdriver. I have the same screwdriver as before. I believe this is just a PH1 bit. No, it's a PH0. And then you just pull this, and then it comes right out. It was a little stiff. So yeah, your hard drive just clips in. I do not think they included screws with this, but I'll have to check on that later. And as you can see, there's the SATA interface, SATA data and power. I do believe putting in a hard drive in here will increase the power usage, so just be aware of that, because hard drives are spinning. If I can just put this back in. Okay. And then after you put the hard drive in, you just screw back in the screw. And then reinstall the cover. And then, yeah, that's basically it. Other than that, nothing especially important. This is one of the cameras itself. Yeah. It's a model B301, 5V 2 amps. There's a speaker grill at the bottom, which I like, instead of having the speaker on the front. And let me just peel this real quick. I don't recommend peeling this before installing it because this does tend to scratch quite easily. And then this is the PIR sensor. There's the red and green LEDs. One of these is an indicator light, one of these is a light sensor, and then one's a spotlight, one's okay, actually I have no idea which one's which. Let me check real quick. Basically that diagram. So yeah, this infrared light. The one on the right is the photo sensor, or the light sensor. Yeah. So this is the solar panel. Pretty large for the camera. So this is the solar panel for the B220. This one's a bit dirty, but it's almost like 2/3 of the size of the B220 solar panel. So yeah. And then there's the antenna. If I unscrew the mount. It's nice that the screw is still inside the mount. If you saw the last video, it fell out. So this is the Type-C charge hole. And if you lift up the cover even more, you can access the on and off switch. And then set, I believe that's for the pairing. And yeah, that's basically it for the camera body. And let's put that to the side. Well, that happened. Someone send me a camera mount, man. Or a phone mount. Okay. So, along with this box, there's the I believe this is an HDMI cable. Pretty standard. Nice that they included one. Put that back in the box. Pull this out. This is the accessories thing. Basically, the mouse, the power supply, and the antennas, and the mounting stickers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I would like if they included like a few extra stickers, just in case you decide to move it, but since they just included one, that's fine as well. So all these antennas are the same. I think they're just standard generic Wi-Fi antennas. Yeah, I don't think they're really much special, except for the fact that they support only the sub-gigahertz band. So yeah, these are sub-gigahertz antennas, I think, because I did have a Zigbee adapter that used like a black colored version of this. It is a little loose, the antenna. Okay, this one's tight. That's weird. Okay, this one's not as tight as the other one, but it's... yeah, these two are stiff. This third one's stiff. This one's acceptable. This one's like just right. And so this one's flimsy, a little bit looser, then it'll go on my hub. Okay, yes, it did come with the hard drive screws. So these are the hard drive screws for the mounting tray. I believe they're standard. Screw pack for the camera's mounting. Reset pin. More screw packs. Another screw pack. You get an Ethernet cable. It's unmarked, but probably Cat 5e. That's pretty standard. And then charging cable, which is nice. Makes it easier for our first setup. 12-volt power supply. Let's see this. 12-volt 2 amps. 2 amp max. Basically. Efficiency level 6, I think. If I'm reading my Roman numerals correct, I believe that's 6. Or I'm actually quite sure that's 6. Generic mouse. Wait a minute. It's not a generic mouse unless it glows red. Here, let me just pull this real quick. Oh yes, it does glow red. It is a generic mouse. Okay, so that's that. So I do believe they sell solar panels for these camera modules that can be positioned elsewhere, but I'm not sure if they can charge the camera at once. So I do believe this is the same one they sell for this camera, but I'm not sure. This solar panel module is for the B220, and this is not a B220 camera, so I do believe it will plug in and work the same. I'll have to experiment with that, but it would be cool if you can just have like dual solar panels. So that's basically everything that's in the box. Let me just push all this away. As you can see, I only removed one of the cameras, and then there's 3 more. So yeah, they're all cameras. So generally, before you first use the cameras, you're going to want to charge it first. Charge it all the way and then start using them. So here I'm going to show you some clips that were recorded. As you can see, some people are walking by, and that's my Reolink dual floodlight, and that's the light on the right side of the camera. If you go back a bit, you will see that it reacts faster than the Cyvio camera, but it is PoE, so that's the reason. It's able to pull more power. It has no power restraints, no battery saving, nothing. So it's going to react faster. But the Cyvio is so impressive that it's just a little bit behind, like a second or less than a second behind. And yeah, it records the situation here, and you can change the settings so that it records longer afterwards. And here in this clip, you can see that it didn't catch the first part, so there is that. The battery is going to be a sort of limitation on your pre-recording and your post-recording of the event. So you're probably going to want to change some of the settings to tune it for your situation, but I find that the battery life has been pretty excellent. I'm going to be walking around with the camera. I'm going to start showing you the camera feed at around 50 meters, and then I'm going to walk all the way to 400 meters away, I believe, based on Google Maps, and we're gonna see how far I can get. I'm going to stop at 400 meters range, just because I'm walking. I'm not like in a car or something, so yeah. So I'm gonna start at 50 meters. Here in the app, you can see the other camera is also there. And you can see the reeling camera. The reeling camera is a nice camera as well. It's a PoE camera. And it's great for my situation. Some random text. And then my reeling camera got triggered as I switched to 5G. So I'm gonna start viewing the camera. You can see a bus. And if I use my finger to cover the camera, yeah, you can see it's live footage. It is probably a bit blurry since I'm moving it so much. Let's keep going. There's gonna be a lot of walking in this video, so feel free to play at 2 times speed. Probably at about like 150 meters now. Seems like it might have disconnected. And we're back. Okay, so here I'm going to mute the recording, but as you basically know, I made it to at about 150 meters before I started having signal issues and it stopped really showing me the live feed through the app. And that makes a lot of sense because I'm in a city environment. So why this is impressive is because as you can see in the footage, I'm not sure if you can see that well, but the streets where I was walking before and where I'm walking currently is staggered or offset, so they're not. It's not at one single straight street. It's like two small streets that are sort of not not aligned. So there's going to be a lot of buildings in between me
and the NVR. So the fact that HALow technology can communicate through all of those buildings, impressive to me, because that's, as I remind you, that I'm in a city environment, and so that's basically 80 meters of buildings in between me, the camera, and the NVR. So 80 meters of buildings. I'd say that's impressive. So, as they advertise on their site, they have up to 700 meters in open areas. So that's probably under ideal conditions with like no trees, and a perfect line of sight between the NVR and the camera. I'd say that makes sense based on my experience and what you just saw. 150 meters in a city environment, that's probably going to almost quadruple in a non-city environment where you have less obstruction. So this is going to really perform well in a farm environment.
So what do I think about the Cyvio N1814 kit? Well, the Cyvio 4K cameras included in this kit really performed well throughout my testing. I had one installed in the front of my building where it has a view of a street, and it gets more than 100 events a day. And the battery life really held up, and the solar charging seems to be pretty good. It will keep this camera charged. However, for how long, I'm not quite exactly sure based on my testing scenario. I don't think it's realistic for you. So I might do more testing. I would recommend you take that into consideration. Also, you can get a flexible or an external solar panel that's not built in, so that you can position that somewhere else where there's more sun, and you will have no worries about battery life. As for the image sensor or the camera itself, the video feed was crispy and screenshots were really nice. 4K. I believe this is a true 4K camera. Now, that's going to make it show up better on screen and look better and capture more details than, say, the B220 that I reviewed earlier. Now, that is still a good option if you are on a budget, but 4K really does make a difference. I do love the brighter spotlights on this camera, as they seem to light up better, and since there's two of them, then it seems to be more balanced, and there's that. You can also switch between IR as well, so the LEDs basically switch into IR mode somehow, or it's just a separate LED. And the IR is pretty bright at night, and the last thing on this camera, which is a nice feature to have, is the PIR sensor. That sensor makes sure that you have no accidental triggers or situations where you're recording nothing, basically. And then the range has been excellent, as you saw earlier in my testing. That was in the city, but I do believe it is going to perform well in a rural environment or some environment where you can't wire a power cord or Ethernet cable. And finally, I would also like to see a hardwired mode in the future for 24/7 recording, and that's basically it for the camera. So, what do I think about the Cyvio NVR? It is a really great way to store your video footage. especially since you can expand the storage up to 16 terabytes, I think, with the hard drive, 2.5-inch hard drive, or up to 512 gigabytes with the micro SD card slot. Now, if I'm wrong, I'll put a correction on screen. But this thing can connect to your internet wirelessly through Wi-Fi, or you can hardwire it with Ethernet for a stable connection, a more stable connection. And other than that, you have literally like absolute control of this device. On the back, you have an HDMI port for connecting an external monitor, a mouse, USB port for connecting a mouse, and that allows you basically ultimate control of this device. Since it's an NVR, it can record your video footage without being connected to the internet. So it does not require internet access. It does not rely on your Wi-Fi network. Basically, it's basically already set up for reliable recording already. And if you expand the storage, it basically just gives you a lot of footage that you can capture with this NVR. Now, if you would like, you can have this completely offline and use a remote access device or remote KVM like the GLINet Comet Pro, as I'm showing you right here. You just connect up the Comet Pro to internet and then connect the HDMI ports and then connect the mouse to the NVR. Now, unfortunately, the NVR does not support keyboards yet, so typing in passwords is just a little bit harder. You have to click your mouse and move it to click the on-screen keyboard, but the NVR is pretty good otherwise. Once you connect it to your network, there is a special web page that you can access by typing in the local IP address into your browser, and then you can access the NVR settings and view your live feed and playback footage. So if you have the NVR connected to internet, you will be able to type in the local IP address into your browser and then access the Cyvio's or the NVR's video live feed, playback footage, and change settings. Now, all of those settings that are available on the NVR monitor itself, you're able to control on the web page, which is really nice because on another Real-Link NVR I have, you can only control some settings through the web page, which is unfortunate.
Okay, so I've already talked to you about the NVR itself and the cameras. The cameras, they do perform well at night. I'll have a video on screen showing you the nighttime footage. It's actually pretty dark out. Though my eyes, they do see the light, but it's actually really dark out. My phone camera can't even pick it up, and so uh yeah, there's a video on screen. And so I'm just going to take you through the website real quick. Uh, it's actually $370 right now for the whole kit. I'd say that's pretty good. And 2-year warranty obviously depends on whether they exist to stand behind that warranty. So there is that to keep in mind. Uh, as I said earlier, up to 500, or no, never mind, scrap that. Up to 16 terabyte internal hard drive or SSD if you want to expand the storage. This kit, the 4-camera kit, comes with 64 gigabytes of micro SD card storage. Obviously, you can probably upgrade that to something higher. I'm not sure what the maximum capacity is for that, so I might need to ask around. Yes, so basically, I've already mentioned a lot of this throughout
the video. I'll have a link to the site down below if you're interested in checking this out. And yeah, so that's basically $370 for the whole kit. And then the add-on camera is $120. I'd say meh. I don't like the price. I probably wouldn't buy another one for this kind of pricing. I'd probably just buy another kit with another NVR. It's probably going to be cheaper and way better value for your money, but obviously up to you to do whatever you want. I'm just showing you this so you can take it into consideration. So on to Swan. Swan also has a similar looking kit. I think it's pretty similar. I think what's it called? Lifehackster. He did a review on this kit, I believe, probably like last year, and I don't think I like the NVR's UI, so theirs is probably not as good of a product, and it costs more on top of that. This is $600. This is the last price that they have on the site. Right now it's out of stock, so obviously there's not selling it anymore, but there's that to keep in mind. And then an add-on camera is $10 more than what Cyvio offers, so yeah, definitely not worth it. I hate Swan cameras. I've tried a DVR set. Obviously, cameras have come a long way, but if the camera fails or it just doesn't work out of the box, then your quality control just sucks. So yeah, so Cyvio is just a really great option right now from what I see online for HaLow cameras, and these ones particularly are solar, so that's better. Other HaLow cameras on the market, they do not offer solar, or they're just little baby cameras that probably don't really offer that long of battery life compared to this kit. So let's see what I was gonna say. Yeah, that's basically it. And then on Amazon, I'll show you the pricing. It's $367.99, but there's 5% off coupon, and that makes it $349.59. So definitely a pretty good deal. And this kit is basically really DIY friendly because it's all wireless. You don't have to run any wires, and you're probably going to have a really stable connection anyhow because of the HaLow technology that it's using. So there are a lot of options out there, and this seems to be one of the best ones that I've seen that does not rely on 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, because I find that can be unreliable in most environments. I'll have a lot of links down below. Check those out if you're interested, and I'll have a link down below to Cyvio's website where they actually show you them testing the range of this camera across a lake or a body of water. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, I'll have a link down below to that video if you're interested. And huge thank you to Cyvio for sending out this camera kit for me to try out, and I'll see you in the next video.